Consul General of Russia in Chennai, Mr. Valery, founder, chairman, and president of the Peninsula Foundation, Air Marshal Nadezhd, and director of the Russian House, Mr. Alexander Dodonov. Today we'll present to you the developments that we had during this year in cultural, economic, and other dimensions. So without further ado, I would like to launch the political part of our event, and would like to ask Mr. Valery to take the lead.
Russian General Consulate holding press meetings, annual press meetings, and thank you very much for your attendance, as your presence here is an indication of your interest to the Russian-Indian cooperation. I would like also to express my gratitude to Air Marshal Nadezhd, who graciously agreed to share his days with us this time, and we are organizing this in partnership with the Peninsula Foundation, which Air Marshal represents here. Thank you very much. My part will be, I will speak about political, economic issues, political and economic developments in our partnership, and also will give you, will outline just generally the international environment in which Russia and India are navigating at the moment. This year, 2024, was an eventful year in Russia-India relations, and we marked the 77th anniversary of establishment of diplomatic relations this year. As far as I know, this date, 77, is a very special date also in Indian tradition. We celebrated it by holding various cultural people-to-people and expert meetings, and no need to tell you that our collaboration is developing in a complex geopolitical situation, which we characterize as the transition period in the world politics towards a multipolar system. We are undergoing tectonic shifts. It's quite clear, and this is accompanied by fierce eruptions in various regions. But despite all the complexity, our optimism does not desert us, and we hope that at some point, the situation will return to normalcy in the world, to certain equilibrium. So it is too early to predict now what is moving down the road from the point of geopolitics. This is specifically now, as we see that the situation is rather complex, and you can see it in the developments in Ukraine, in Gaza, Syria, and other hotspots. All this current system pressure and regulations can be explained by many factors, but the primary cause, as we see it, lies in the attempts of the West to preserve its sleeping world hegemony. It uses various instruments of interference into affairs of sovereign states, like restrictions, coup d'etats, color revolutions, monopolization of international institutions, weaponization of dollar, arrogance and dictate, aggressive military blocs posturing. Double standards have become just an everyday practice, and be it the United Nations or, for example, the International Criminal Court in The Hague, which actually turned into the mockery of justice. Just look at the selective approach. It is seen also in the in the rulings of this court, which is ignoring, making rulings about some countries, but at the same time ignoring military crimes committed by NATO in Afghanistan, Libya, Iraq. Sanctions became the real scourge, and not only for the targeted countries, but many regions, like it is happening in the case of Western restrictions against Russia and not longer. Just one more example. In the Circumvention of the United Nations Security Council, the United States, Republic of Korea, and Japan have taken the liberty to establish a multinational sanction monitoring team, it is called, to ensure compliance of the international community with sanctions against the PRK. It is one more example for sanctions politics. Against this backdrop, we can see the change in political dynamics on the world landscape, with the G20 acquiring prominence in the economic processes, enlargement of BRICS and Shanghai Cooperation Organization. By the way, Russia presided in BRICS and in the Commonwealth of Independent States. This is organization of the states of the former USSR in 2024, this year. Then we see strengthening of Eurasian Economic Union and ASEAN, resurgence of the peoples of Africa and Latin America, transmigrations in the Middle East. At the same time, our cooperation with India remains the factor of global and regional stability, an important permanent anchor in the choppy waters of international politics. This year signalized the intensified political and economic dialogue between our countries. The important milestone was the bilateral summit in July 8-9 in Moscow. The rich deliverables of the leaders' interaction comprised a slew of agreements underpinned by the mutual commitments to strengthen multifaceted cooperation in economic, trade, financial, energy, scientific, cultural, transport, logistics fields, including in the increased operationalization of the North-South and Vladivistok Chennai corridors. Relationship to a higher level. This is a special and strategic partnership. So that would be the special year in our relationship next year. And at this point, we can confidently state that our cooperation will continue to play a crucial role in shaping the future of our peoples in all this rapidly evolving world dynamics. So I tried to be brief and put some of my thoughts here. And I think I will ask Air Marshal Matishvaran now. It's your floor. Air Marshal will speak on the military technical cooperation.
Here on behalf of the Peninsula Foundation, I compliment the Russian House for organizing this. The military and defense cooperation between India and Russia has been the foundational hallmark of the strategic relations between the two countries. And as the Consul General pointed out, while that had dominated the trade for very long, and the last 2 years I think much more trade has expanded significantly, as I said, $65 billion, and I think the two governments have put a target of $100 billion by the end of this decade. The civil trade and other interactions are now increasing significantly. But notwithstanding that growth, the defense relationships remain fairly strong and robust as ever. The joint exercises between the two militaries have increased, although we started later. I think all three components of air, naval, and army components do exercises regularly, despite Russia's considerable engagement in the Ukraine conflict. In terms of defense industrial partnership, we started long ago, in the 1963, when we first got the partnership in license producing the MiG-21. And now, over the 60 odd years, this partnership has grown significantly. This year, after a 4-year break, the Indo-Russian Intergovernmental Commission on Military and Military Technical Cooperation, the 21st meeting was held, chaired by the two defense ministers in Moscow. And this is something that I've been part of every year while in service. And it deals with a wide spectrum of aspects of the defense relationship between two countries, from weapons to defense industry to technology sharing to joint ventures. So, as you see, this time, despite the war, the Russian military industry has ramped up significantly, and they've been able to deliver the first stealth frigate, which our defense minister took charge during this visit. The second one should be following quite soon, which adds significant strength to the Indian Navy. The government of India has ordered 12 more Su-30 MKI aircraft from the Hindustan Aeronautics Laboratories, Aeronautics Limited's Nasik plant, which keeps the production line going, and the Air Force is due to start the upgrade of the Su-30 MKI with the Russian partnerships, but considerably it will be under the Make in India program, and that's going to be a significant input to air power or Indian Air Force's operational capability with a modernized MKI which will last well past 2050, I can assure you that. Similarly, the T-90 tanks are being upgraded as part of the discussions that have gone in this time, which will be done here at Avadi in the tank factory here. We should also remember many of our defense industry foundational plants, production facilities came out of the Indo-Russian defense partnership. Be it HAL's aircraft production or the ship production in the shipyards, or the ordnance factories and the defense equipment production centers like the tank factory in Avadi. These have continued to grow, imbibe a lot of technology, and now there's a lot of value addition under the Make in India program, which will facilitate our own value addition and our own product developments. Both countries collaborate on that. In terms of under the Make in India scheme, one of the new developments which was quite late to start but have started off quite well now is the joint ventures between Indian entities and Russian entities.
India took an active part in the World Festival of Youth, February-March in Sochi, Russia. The Moscow International Film Festival, April in Moscow. The BRICS Young Scientists Forum in November. The Vizov Prize for Future Technologies, this month, and many others. The Russian Center of Science and Culture in Chennai, RCSC in Chennai, for its part continued to introduce citizens of southern India to Russian culture, scientific achievements, and opportunities to get an education in Russia. In 2024, the RCSC in Chennai held more than 80 events in which more than 30,000 Indian residents participated. Russian language courses, total 200 students, continue to operate on the basis of the RCSC in Chennai this year. And this year we're seeing an increase in the number of requests from Tamil Nadu educational institutions to organize Russian language courses on their basis as well. Next year we are planning to pay special attention to this issue. RCSC in Chennai also carried out work to meet the needs of Indian students in Russian education. In May and June, Russian educational fairs were held in Tamil Nadu with the participation of leading Russian universities. We plan to organize similar fairs next year. The Russian State Atomic Energy Corporation, Rosatom, played an active role in the implementation of scientific events in Chennai. Together, RCSC in Chennai and Rosatom and Tamil Nadu Science Center conducted the Scientific Olympiad Precise Energy and the Science Festival, both in August and November, in which totally about 13 school children and students participated. A number of the events were organized dedicated to scientific, technical, and cultural cooperation between Russia and India. Among them, I would like to particularly note the celebration of the 40th anniversary of the first Indian cosmonaut Rakesh Sharma flight on board of a Soviet spacecraft, and the 77th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic relations between Russia and India. In 2024, we continued our work to introduce Russian culture to the Indian public. Significant events in this area were the annual Festival of Russian Culture, which was held in 7 cities of Tamil Nadu in January and February this year, and the Embassy of Excellence classical music concert performed by Russian musicians in June. Considering the positive response from the public, next year we plan to increase the number of venues for such concerts. Screenings of modern Russian feature films were held by RCSC in Chennai on an ongoing basis. A total of 20 feature films were screened, 5 of which were screened at the 22nd Chennai International Film Festival in December. One of them will be screened today. The total audience for the screening was over 5,000 viewers. Supporting the decision to plant trees in Chennai to create a comfortable urban environment, RCSC in Chennai, together with Exnora International Foundation and with the great support of the Greater Chennai Corporation, carried out planting of 50 trees in Jiva Park in Chennai in June. We also note the Green Footprint initiative of Rosatom Corporation, implemented jointly with the RCSC in Chennai and with support of the Greater Chennai Corporation in December. A total of 17 colleges took part in the initiative, which resulted in the cleaning of Edward Elliot's beach in Chennai. The year 2024 is marked by the fact that after a long break, the legendary Tal Chess Club resumed its work at the RCSC in Chennai. We all know that many Indian grandmasters, including world champion Vishwanathan Anand, once walked out of the doors of this club. And on December 22nd, we are planning to hold the first Tamil Nadu state-level children's chess tournament. On behalf of the RCSC in Chennai, I would like to thank all our partners for cooperation and express hope for successful joint work in the year 2020.